Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Flame Emperor episode number 254 based on novel. So let's start. Boy, I'm tired of playing. It's time for you to go down and accompany my fifth brother. Looking at Xiao Yan, who kept running away in the sky, after a while, Yi Yunqing, the third elder of Kuya Zhai, slowly revealed a sinister smile. It's time to end the cat-and-mouse game. Xiao Yan heard that. He also stopped running away and slowly stood in the void, but in his body, a tyrannical aura like the awakening of a sleeping dragon was coming. With a thunderous momentum, Xiao Yang's body was slowly filled. There seems to be something in this Lord Xiao Yang's body. The injured Rain sect powerhouses also gathered around, and through the pressure in the void, they could clearly discover the horror in it. Ha ha ha. Just a joke. How do you fight with me as a brat in the early stage of the two-star fighting immortal? Yi Yunqing's brows and eyes widened at Xiao Yang's words. The difference between the 3-star Dozian early stage and the 2-star Dozian early stage is no joke. The water attribute is indeed tyrannical, and it also restrains my fire attribute, but as long as the purity of the flame is high enough, it is not water that overcomes fire, but fire that overcomes water. Xiao Yang laughed. What Xiao Yang said is not without reason. The 5 elements are restrained by the same energy. For example, under the same energy, water restrains fire, but if the energies of water and fire are different, then it will be different. The cultivation of Dozian also has the effect of increasing the purity of the attributes, but compared with the holy flame, it is nothing compared to that. Sheng Yang has brought Xiao Yang's fire attribute to a higher level, but it is rude to say that if it is only based on attributes, if you want to use the attribute purity to use water to restrain fire, unless the strength reaches 4 stars or more, the water attribute is strong. Otherwise, it would be impossible to suppress the attributes of Xiao Yang after using the power of Holy Flame. Boy, I think you're scared out of your head. If that's the case, then die. Yi Yunqing was too lazy to talk nonsense with Xiao Yang. After all, in his eyes, no matter how talented or evil Xiao Yang was, he was just an ant in his own hands that could be pinched to death at will. Boom! The water dragon roared, with a vicious aura like a poisonous snake, and shot directly at Xiao Yang. It's a good time. Since you don't believe it, I'll let you take a good look today. Xiao Yang laughed loudly, without any intention of evading. He slowly opened his hands and made an appearance of waiting to die. Ha ha ha, boy, it doesn't feel good to wait for death, right? Yi Yunqing was naturally not afraid of Xiao Yang's tricks. After all, the absolute gap in strength was there. Lord Xiao Yang. Seeing this, the other Rain sect powerhouses became nervous. Obviously, Xiao Yang was able to use his strength in the early stage of the 2-star Dozian to obliterate the 5 elders in the later stage of the 2-star Dozian. The real Samsung fighting immortals, the strength of the two is not the same level at all. Xiao Yang's trip is tantamount to hitting a stone with an egg. Crash! The water dragon just squirmed, and suddenly left a terrifying water wave in the void that was enough to destroy the 2-star fighting immortal. Immortal Sparrow. Facing Yi Yunqing's roaring water dragon, Xiao Yang didn't dare to neglect. His hands suddenly opened and his pupils shrank tightly. At that time, an extremely tyrannical flame was accompanied by a phantom that was several dozen meters in size. The shadow suddenly swept out of Xiao Yang's body. Boom boom boom. Since ancient times, water and fire have been incompatible, so Xiao Yang's flame power just emerged, and suddenly a terrifying fluctuation erupted with the water dragon. This fluctuation. Yi Yunqing had already won the ticket, but now he frowned. Obviously, the flames on Xiao Yang's body, and even the looming phantom, actually made him feel terrified. Even after the flames appeared, the original suppression of his water attributes over fire attributes disappeared without a trace, so that a trace of the oppression of the burning sensation of flames swept from his heart. How is that possible? This was Yi Yunqing's first thought. Yi Yunqing still knows the principle of water and fire fighting each other, but if Xiao Yang, with his strength in the early stage of 2-star Dozian, can make even a powerhouse in the early stage of 3-star Dozian create such strong fluctuations, I am afraid that the flames on this guy's body are not simple. At this time, Yi Yunqing slowly put down his pride of being a 3-star fighting immortal powerhouse, and looked up. At this time, Xiao Yang's body was actually completely wrapped by a ghost beast. Above the ghost beast, a violent aura was exuded, and there was even a trace of yellow-grey flame. Peripheral beating. As for his water dragon, under Xiao Yang's constant resistance, his body and strength were slowly dissolving. Battle Soul and Sheng Yang. In addition to the Fairyland Soul, I haven't met such a powerful boy for a long time. It seems that this time I came here, And I have gained a lot. He couldn't help muttering. Their Soul Clan powers spread throughout the entire Dakian world, not to mention any cooperation or relationship with Kuya's High. What they do is to collect souls. As for the people of Kuya's High, whether it is life or death, he doesn't care. This is a fighting spirit. And Yi Yunqing smelled an extremely dangerous wave from the phantom of the violent spirit beast. The yellow-grey flame was naturally created by Xiao Yang using the Fire Heart Heavenly Rock and the Undying Underworld Flame. The so-called Undying Underworld Flame was nothing but the fire seed of the Undying Underworld Sparrow. After being refined by Xiao Yang, it was also controlled by Xiao Yang. This kind of flame is grey, it should be on the same level as undead fire, but its power, I am afraid there is only a trace of undead fire however, with undead flame and fire heart Tianyang. If you want to deal with this tyranny Yi Yunqing in the early stage of the 3-star fighting immortals, although it is difficult, it is not a problem to hold him for a while. Bingo! Immortal flame. Xiao Yang sneered, and waved his hands directly at Yi Yunqing in the void below. Suddenly, one after another of yellow-grey flames formed a series of vicious attacks. Viper is generally very scary. Water Spirit Realm. Yi Yunqing was surprised, but his strength was there. He immediately saw the attack from Xiao Yang's fighting spirit, and without any hesitation, he directly activated the water attribute, forming an extremely huge wave in front of him. The water wave barrier. Crash. The yellow-grey flame's fierce attack, like a poisonous snake, was slowly eaten away by Yi Yunqing's water spirit world, but Yi Yunqing could feel that this guy was definitely not easy. Bang bang bang. After a while, the attacks of the two shattered instantly, and then the two took a step back in unison. It seems that I really underestimate you. I originally thought you were just a piece of trash with a strong soul, but I didn't expect you to hide it so deeply. Yi Yunqing resisted the pressure of the flames emanating from the invisible, and smiled at Xiao Yang. There are more things you didn't think of. Old guy, look at the tricks. Xiao Yang said, and he couldn't help but use the boost of the undead ghost fighting spirit to launch an attack at Zaidu. Boy, don't be too happy too soon. Although you have a fighting spirit, and you can even use the purity of the flame to eliminate the property of water defeating fire, don't forget that your strength is only in the early stage of the 2-star fighting immortal. I'm afraid you don't know where you are fooling around when the old man's strength reaches the initial stage of the 2-star Dozian. Yi Yunqing, as the strength of the 3-star Dozian early stage, how could he be frightened by Xiao Yang's fighting spirit? Stop talking nonsense. I'm also looking forward to the powerhouses in the early stage of the 3-star fighting immortals. How much more tyrannical I can be. Xiao Yang's voice contained an air of arrogance and arrogance. Yep. I see. But when Xiao Yang was about to start, he received a rather weak soul power, the source of which came from Yu Tianyu. I hope so. After Yi Yunqing finished speaking, the dazzling attack was condensed. Although it is true that with the assistance of the fighting spirit and the holy flame, the direct gap between the two can be bridged in a short time, but if you want to defeat Yi Yunqing, you have to use 2 kinds of holy flame. And once the 2 kinds of holy flames are used, I am afraid that Xiao Yang's ghost face and soul flame will be exposed in an instant, and it will be enough to become a thorn in everyone's eyes, so Xiao Yang does not dare to expose the ghost face and soul flame. Shui Ling Jian. The next moment, Yi Yunqing snorted coldly, and suddenly a pair of swords with a faint blue light was slowly condensed by it. This pair of swords was condensed by Yi Yunqing using his water-type fighting chi, and its power should not be underestimated. This guy is not low on the use of water attributes. It seems that he has to come up with some means to cooperate with Sect Master Yu. In order not to reveal all his strengths, Xiao Yang tried his best to reserve. After all, he had to participate in the future compared with Dongju. If he exposes too many methods here, it will undoubtedly have a certain impact on him in the future. Undying Mingyang. Xiao Yang didn't do too much, and the dazzling fighting spirit power was directly activated, and then the ruthless aura of the Undying Mingqiu that penetrated into the bone marrow slowly radiated out. Don't underestimate the phantom of the fighting spirit that surrounds Xiao Yang, but it has provided a lot of blessings to Xiao Yang's defense and the power of the fire attribute. Crash. An angry roar emanated directly from the phantom on Xiao Yang's body, and then the yellow-grey flame, like a ray of annihilating light, burst out at Yi Yunqing in an instant. Small worm-carving trick. Yi Yunqing said with a light smile, clenching the water spirit sword in his hand instantly, and facing Xiao Yang's attack, he drew dozens of sword beams one after another and roared away. Crash. The dazzling attack fell off the water spirit sword, and the spirit sword, which was completely composed of water, turned out to be scattered dozens of tyrannical water columns, and flew towards Xiao Yang. Its attack strength was strong, a terrifying two-star fighting immortal would not dare to take it hard. Boom boom boom. The two attacks just touched, and they suddenly turned into waves of heat, which slowly counteracted. Strange. How can this guy be so powerless? What is he doing? Yi Yunqing and Xiao Yang fought several times, but did not find that Xiao Yang used his proud soul power, even after using the fighting spirit. The attack that broke out was not enough to threaten him, which made Yi Yunqing, who has always been calm, couldn't help muttering, "Distraction will kill you." The next moment, Xiao Yang's speed skyrocketed and he came directly in front of Yi Yunqing. With the increase of his fighting spirit, his hands and feet became his best weapons for close combat. "Damn, you bastard." Seeing Xiao Yang's aggressive approach, Yi Yunqing snorted coldly, and just wanted to use the water spirit sword to defend, but Xiao Yang didn't give him any chance. Terrifying breath. What is Master Xiao Yang doing? The injured rain sect powerhouse below was also a little puzzled. Possessing a fighting spirit, and even that terrifying flame, the combined strength of the two makes it easy to deal with Yi Yunqing, but outside of the battle outside of them, naturally they cannot find out that Xiao Yang is fighting Yi Yunqing and seems to be preparing something at the same time. The other two battles were also intractable for a while. The first is the battle between Yi Shuang and Yu Mu. The strength of the two is equal, so it may be difficult to tell the winner for a long time. However, the battle between the two three-star fighting immortals in the late stage is quite exciting. Every once in a while, there will be shocks, the fluctuation of the heart. This bastard, the Yin Protector, actually thought of enjoying the success. Yi Ku scolded in the bottom of his heart while resisting Yu Tianyue's tyrannical attack. Outsiders only know that he and Yu Tianyu are the same powerhouses in the late Samsung Dozian, but only the two of them know the difference. "Yi Ku, it's only been 10 years since we last fought, but your current strength is not as good as before." Yu Tianyu suddenly stopped and smiled at Yi Ku. However, what Ling Yu Tianyu did not expect was that Xiao Yang, this kid actually had two kinds of wonders, Holy Flame and Fighting Spirit, and also wiped out the 5 elders of the late two-star fighting immortal. At this time, relying on Holy Flame and Fighting Spirit, the strength temporarily held back Yi Yunqing in the early stage of the 3-star fighting immortals, which made Yu Tianyue's evaluation of Xiao Yang especially higher. Humph. Rainy days, old man you are so mad. Yi Ku clenched his teeth angrily when he heard the words. In the fight 10 years ago, the two of them had just reached the late stage of the 3-star fighting immortals, so they reached a tie, but now that they are fighting, Yi Ku has a feeling of being a big enemy now. This Yu Tianyu didn't know what kind of ***** luck was going, but his strength actually reached the peak of the late Samsung fighting immortal. And although Yi Ku has experienced 10 years, he has only just stabilized his realm. If he really wants to say, he is only an intermediate level in the late Samsung Dozian, and he is still one step away from the peak. I've been planning since the space formation happened, so this time I'm actually betting. But I won the bet, and you came anyway. After a while, Yu Tianyu suddenly laughed. Yi Ku heard the words and seemed to sense something. "Xiao Yang, do it." The next moment, Yu Tianyu said directly, "It's not good." When he noticed that the figure burst out at this moment, the dazzling soul power in the body suddenly left the body and shot at Yi Kuei. Yi Yunqing also understood that Xiao Yang had been reserved just now. Reason: late. Yu Ming Tian trance. Xiao Yang's voice suddenly echoed in this void, and then a dazzling soul fluctuation turned into a strange sound, floating in the space of the formation. Yi Ku was so busy dealing with Yu Tianyu that he naturally didn't have time to take care of Xiao Yang and the others. At this time, he was hit by Xiao Yang's unprepared soul attack, and a scream suddenly sounded. "Wind beam, strangle." A sharp voice, carrying a cyan hurricane, suddenly echoed in this void. And the cyan hurricane, at this time, is rapidly expanding in Yi Ku's pupils, and even a fear of death fills his heart. "Guardian Yin, save me." Yi Ku, who suffered such a big change, also turned away from the secret passage in the space of the formation, shouting, "Hihi, it's such a tyrannical soul power." As Yi Ku's voice fell, a strange black mist suddenly appeared in front of his body, and then Yu Tianyue's tyrannical cyan hurricane was enough to destroy Yi Ku, was swallowed up by its black mist in an instant. "Are you from the Soul Clan?" Xiao Yang and the great elder Yumu stopped at the same time, and then Yuzong and Kuyashai's men and horses retreated to one side. At this time, this space of formation was also deadly silent. The battle in the space formation, accompanied by the sudden bursts of strange black fog, all quieted down. Immediately, Yuzong's strong man stepped aside, and under the horrified gaze of everyone, in front of Yi Ku, who was about to be wiped out by Yu Tianyu, an extremely strange black mist was slowly born. That's... Xiao Yang recognized it at a glance. This is a trick used by the Soul Clan, but other Rain Sect powerhouses don't have such eyesight. I have long noticed that Kuyashai has an affair with some evil forces. I never thought that the so-called evil forces would actually be you. Yu Tianyu did not seem surprised, standing in front of the many disciples of Yuzong, facing the black group. Said the fog. In the sky, the black fog still did not show up, but said in a very gloomy voice, "We are just a relationship of interests. If your Rain Sect needs it, we can also cooperate." Ha ha ha. The Soul Clan is famous, but your base camp is not here. And, speaking of cooperation, it's impossible for me to cooperate with such a filthy race. Yu Tianyu laughed wildly and said in a very disdainful tone, "You are courting death." With Yu Tianyu's provocation, there was an extremely terrifying fluctuation in the black mist. This fluctuating aura was even more powerful than Yu Tianyu's. Samsung Dozian is complete. Xiao Yang couldn't help swallowing a mouthful of saliva and said, Yu Tianyu's current strength is on the verge of reaching the 3-star Dozian consummation, and this fellow of the Soul Clan is stronger than him, so there is no doubt that the 3-star Dozian consummate is complete. Today, none of you can run. As the voice in the black mist fell, a large amount of black mist suddenly poured out from the entire formation space, and the black mist condensed in the void, and finally it turned into a mass of black mist that was only a few feet tall. Guardian Yin, be careful, this guy's strength is the peak of the late Samsung Dozian, and that kid's soul power cannot be underestimated. Yi Ku said, standing aside. I am very interested in your fighting spirit, holy flame, and even Fairyland spirit. Fall into my hands today. By the way, remember my name taboo, the Soul Clan's Yin Guardian Law. The Yin Guardian Law was covered by a mass of black mist, slowly exuding a gloomy meaning. Sect Master, what are we going to do now? The rain curtain on the side couldn't help but said, obviously the combat power was obviously not proportional at this time. The opponent is just a Yin protector, and his strength is to reach the perfection of the 3-star Dozian, which does not include Yi Ku in the later stage of the 3-star Dozian, Yi Shuang in the middle stage of the 3-star Dozian, and Yi Yunqing in the early stage of the 3-star Dozian. On the other hand, on their side, only themselves and Sect Master Yu were stronger than the 3-star fighting immortals. Although Xiao Yang barely counted as one, it was a must-win situation anyway. Haha, let's watch first. I called for reinforcements, it should be coming soon. Sect Master Yu said slowly. As early as when the space formation was destroyed, Yu Tianyu vaguely noticed that Kuya Zhai seemed to be colluding with other powerhouses, so he also secretly contacted the powerhouses for cooperation. This Yin protection method is very strong. Xiao Yang said coldly. The people of the soul race are the most tyrannical in dealing with the soul body, but it is no problem to deal with ordinary humans. After all, their race has a unique method for dealing with human beings and the soul body. Go. Yi Shuang, you stop the rain curtain. Yi Yunqing, you are responsible for obliterating the other 2-star fighting immortals. Leave the rest to us. Yi Ku said directly without being idle. Ah, I have a headache. Xiao Yang looked at the crowd in the middle of the battle and couldn't help rubbing his temples and said, the soul power of the Fairyland level is extremely difficult to find. I never imagined that someone would automatically bring it to the door. Humph. You guys are nothing but a group of monsters who walk in the dark all day and do things like stealing chickens and dogs, and their whereabouts are like mice. Seeing this, Xiao Yang didn't look flustered. Don't think that you have holy flame and fighting spirit, this protector will fear you 3 point. My soul clan has a way to deal with you. Yin Hufar sneered, the black mist slowly disappeared in front of Xiao Yang, and finally turned into a figure shrouded in black smoke. Bloody blood red. Who? It seems that this time, I really have to work hard. Seeing the tyrannical oppression brought by the Yin protector in front of him, it turned out that the immortal ghost shrouded in his body couldn't help but feel a trace of fear. Xiao Yang's hands, the khaki-colored fire heart heavenly rock slowly swept out. You are very strong, but the huge gap between your strengths can't be filled no matter what, so, it's time to end. The Yin protector did not intend to give Xiao Yang a chance to struggle too much, and a dazzling black mist emerged from his body. When he came out, he forcibly lingered around Xiao Yang, forcing Xiao Yang to take a few steps back. When I was in Dochi continent, I, Xiao Yang, could destroy all of your soul clan alone. Now that I meet you here, I can naturally. Xiao Yang's mouth cracked into a crazy smile, and he couldn't help saying, now I have 3 holy flames in my hands. After swallowing and refining the undead ghost, I have undead flames. Above the undead flames, they carry a trace of undead flames. Obviously, the holy flames are 3.5 colors. Fusion, if you want to obliterate this guy, it should be no problem. It's just that the most important question right now is how to buy time to integrate the holy flame. Although the fusion of holy flame is the most tyrannical killer, the helpless flaws are also extremely obvious and time-consuming. Dochi Continent. It turns out that you are the culprit who destroyed our forces in the lower realm. When the Guardian of Yin heard the words, he was shocked. The forces of the lower realm disappeared, and the Palace Master was furious. He was looking for you everywhere, but unexpectedly, I met you. It must be a great achievement to take you back. That's fine. I will capture you today, strip your soul, and send it to the Palace Master. I believe the Palace Master will be very happy. The Yin Protector exuded a sinister smile. Then let's see if you have the ability. Xiao Yang sneered, then the immortal ghost fighting spirit was urging. Huixin Tianyang also burst out an extremely tyrannical aura at the same time, ready to meet the enemy. In the early days of the two-star fighting immortals, you were able to possess such a tyrannical treasure of heaven and earth. If you let you grow up, it will one day have an impact on the plans of our soul clan. It just so happens that we have had grievances for a long time, so let's resolve them together today. Don't worry, there are countless geniuses who have fallen into the hands of our soul clan over the years. You won't be lonely. The Yin Protector smiled and stared at Xiao Yang with his scarlet-hot pupils. This guy doesn't need me to take action. The Soul Eater in Xiao Yang's body was a little nervous at this time. Although Xiao Yang grew up watching him along the way, at this moment, the face of it is also inevitable to worry about this tyrannical Samsung Doshien's perfect Yin Protector. Boom. The Yin Protector didn't give Xiao Yang any extra chance. The first shot was the ultimate move, because he knew that Xiao Yang, who possessed Holy Flame, Do Soul and Immortal Realm Soul, was weak, but to a certain extent he could threaten him. My own. Lock the soul. Yin Feng roared, and an incomparably pitch-black chain suddenly emerged from the black smoke lingering around his body. The black chain just appeared, and it suddenly pierced through the space like a poisonous snake. Under Xiao Yang's gaze, it turned into a blurred black line and shot towards Xiao Yang. The top of the black chain is extremely sharp, carrying traces of mysterious runes on it, and circles of black spiral patterns fill the chain, which is extremely vicious. The fluctuations on it turned out to be no less than easily obliterating a 3-star fighting immortal powerhouse. Xiao Yang didn't show any slights about the pitch-black chains that penetrated the space like poisonous snakes. The fighting spirit on his body emitted a dazzling cry, and a yellow-grey flame directly turned into a giant flame spear, which finally pierced the sky, and that the dark chains collided fiercely together. Bang bang bang! Just as the two tyrannical attacks made contact, a muffled thunder sounded. The power that these two forces erupted did not have any energy fluctuations, some were just circles of black and yellow-grey energy beams, slowly floating out of the void. It's no wonder that the forces that can destroy our lower realm don't seem to have a second chance. The Yin Protector looked at Xiao so easily blocking his own attack, and immediately spoke up. If Xiao Yang were any other person, I am afraid that he would have fallen under his own soul lock at this time. After all, their soul clan has the means to deal with soul bodies and human beings. Either each other. Looking at the black smoke billowing on the body of the Yin Protector, Xiao snorted coldly, but he still felt uneasy in his heart. The strength of this Yin Guardian is too tyrannical. The attack just now obviously did not use all his strength, otherwise Xiao Yang would not have a chance. It can't be delayed. The next moment, Xiao Yang's eyes narrowed tightly, as if he had an idea. Oh! The Yin Protector hurried out 3 soul locks and shot at Xiao Yang. Sacred flame space. Xiao Yang shouted loudly, and a yellow-grey flame suddenly formed in front of the two of them, forming an incomparably huge vortex of energy, which easily brought them into the holy flame space. Xiao Yang. Protection of Yin. Seeing that the two were entering the different dimension, the two men couldn't help but let out a loud shout. Do you still have time to manage others? Let's take care of your Yuzong first. This is the place where you fell. Yi Kuyin laughed and launched an attack in Zaidu. The rescue team should be quicker, otherwise I'm afraid this time. After Yu Tianyu finished speaking, his breath was soaring, and he fought directly with him. Holy flame space. I can't see that you have quite a lot of chips in your hands. Just as he was sucked into the holy flame space, the overwhelming aura of flames suddenly made the Yin Law Protector's body emitting a trace of black smoke. Flutter. Here, it will be your resting place. Stepping into the holy flame space, Xiao Yang's power plus holy flames has undoubtedly been greatly increased here, while the power of the Yin Protector has been weakened to a certain extent, so it seems that it is not impossible for Xiao Yang to obliterate him with his own strength. I hope so. Xiao Yang gritted his teeth, and suddenly glanced at the Yin Protector in front of him. At this time, although the black smoke above the body was suppressed by the holy flame space, the real strength of the Protector has reached the level of 3-star fighting immortal perfection. Let's start. The next moment, Xiao Yang's eyes slowly retracted, his eyes flashed with an unusually calm aura, and his eyes were slightly fixed on his chest. Up to now, we can only use this last trump card. With a plan, Xiao Yang is not going to waste time. After all, even if Xiao Yang displays the first transformation of the dragon god, it will not change the outcome of the battle. Only Sheng Yang will undoubtedly change the key to the battle. This eerie atmosphere has tyrannical restraint. Xiao Yang clearly remembered that the fusion of the 3 holy flames in Shentian Santian consumed 90% of his fighting qi in an instant, but now, among the 3 holy flames, the immortal flames are probably enough to drain Xiao instantly. All the grudges in Yang's body. Don't worry about it, let's fight. The next moment, Xiao Yang's acceptance of the ring flickered slightly, and then the pills came out one by one, and then they were swallowed by Xiao Yang. Having swallowed so many medicinal pills just now, under the high-speed rotation of Fen Ju, it turned into pure force, filling Xiao Yang's limbs and bones. The immortal-level pharmacist is indeed rich. Yin Hufar frowned. Obviously, even if it was him, if he were to compare the storage capacity of medicinal pills, he probably wouldn't be Xiao Yang's opponent. Don't waste time, it's time to end. The Yin Protector said slowly, and then the black smoke all over his body churned up strangely, and at the moment of the churning, there were bursts of mourning, and Xiao Yang, through this wailing sound, even his soul trembled slightly. Look at the move. In the next instant, a yellow-grey flame filled with the ancient ruler of eternal fire in Xiao Yang's hand, which directly projected the ancient ruler of eternal fire towards the Yin Protector. Humph. The Yin Protector snorted coldly. When the ancient ruler of Yihua Heng was about to approach him, his breath could radiate out, and then the ancient ruler of Yihua Heng was easily sent flying. Come out. Xiao Yang didn't stop at the moment when the Yin Protector shook the ancient ruler of eternal fire, and the 2 holy flame crystals in his hand slowly came out. At that time, a yellow liquid and a cyan liquid slowly disappeared from the edge, flowing out from above the crystal. 2 kinds of holy flames. How can it be? Or, that cyan tilde is actually a ghost face and soul flame. The Yin Protector was just about to obliterate Xiao Yang, but when he looked at the 2 prismatic crystals in Xiao Yang's hand, he couldn't help being surprised. It's not over yet. The next moment, Xiao Yang's palm lightly touched his heart, and a drop of azure blue liquid appeared in an instant. 3 kinds of holy flames. Aren't you crazy? And when he noticed that the 3 holy flames coexisted as one, even if it was as tyrannical as his 3-star fighting immortal consummation, he couldn't help but tremble. According to the information known by the Yin Protector, I am afraid that in their ghost world, and even in the entire Great Thousand World, very few have holy flames, let alone one person who has 3 holy flames at the same time. Undying Mingyang. Following Xiao Yang's voice, the traces of grey flames on the undying Mingqiu fighting soul also turned into grey liquid and slowly appeared in front of Xiao Yang. Who, Yin Protector, let you taste how I destroyed your forces in the lower realm? A trace of madness emanated from the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth, and then the dazzling soul force directly emerged to protect himself. Decision. For flames fused. Xiao Yang didn't hesitate, and with the help of his soul power, his palms directly fused the 4-color liquid slowly. Crash. The fusion of the 4-color liquids was quite instantaneous. In just one breath, it was perfectly fused by Xiao Yang, and in the next moment, a swipe of flames that were no more than 10 feet in size and contained 3.5-color flames slowly appeared. In the hands of Xiao Yang. Susu, you lunatic. Until this moment, a trace of fear appeared in the scarlet pupils of the Yin Protector. Sheng Yang has an extremely tyrannical restraint on them. Just one flower, Xiao Yang can make the Yin Protector pay attention, but this guy actually has 3 flowers on his body. With all these things, the Yin Protector had to be vigilant, because the direct gap in strength has been completely made up by the 3 holy flames. What is holy flame? This is the representative of the limit of fire attribute power in the entire Great Thousand World. If a human being gets only 1 flower, he is afraid that he has a great magical power. This Xiao Yang actually has 3 flowers, which is incredible. The Yin Protector slowly looked at Xiao Yang, and found that Xiao Yang's face was pale at this time, and his breath was very weak, but there was a sense of relief on his face. In the end, the Yin protector's gaze stayed on the abbot in Xiao Yang's hand, which was only about the size of a zhong, and was filled with flames of yellow, blue, and grey. In the sacred flame space, Xiao Yang stood high in the sky, and his breath was very weak, but on his palm, a four-color fire lotus with a size of about a zhong emerged gently. Buffer overflow. How could a guy in the early stage of the two-star fighting immortal stage perform such a terrifying attack? And the ghost face and soul flame is actually on him. When the Yin protector's gaze was taken back from Xiao Yang's body, he couldn't help roaring in his heart. However, the Yin protector did not stop his movements, because Xiao Yang's four-color fire lotus gave him a very heavy breath, so the dazzling black smoke fell directly from his body, and then just a breath in time, those black mists formed a black tornado with a size of several hundred meters, tightly wrapping the shadow of the protector. The fusion of 3.5 colors of holy flame is really laborious, but its power is probably unexpected. Xiao Yang looked at the Yin protector, who looked gloomy and uncertain as if he was facing a great enemy, and couldn't help but smile. Although the fire lotus at this time is 4 colors, in Xiao Yang's heart, it is only regarded as 3.5 colors. After all, the other 3 colors are the origin of the holy flame, and this last flame is only the holy flame fire. The power will naturally drop a lot. Boy, you are courting death. The Yin protector, whose figure was wrapped in a black tornado, sneered a few hundred meters away, and then a gust of wind suddenly formed around him and shot towards Xiao Yang. When those gusts of wind were about to hit Xiao Yang, the place where the fire lotus was located actually produced an extremely strong spatial distortion, which instantly engulfed the gust of wind. Just let me have a look. Is it my holy flame fusion powerful, or your Yin protector powerful? Xiao Yang burst into laughter, and then he didn't hold back at all. Go. Xiao Yang flicked his fingers, and suddenly the 4-color fire lotus burst into a dazzling light, like a dazzling sun, hanging in the sky, and finally, driven by almost all of Xiao Yang's fighting chi and soul power, turned into a dazzling light. A beam of death, lightning-like, whizzed away at the guardian of the shadows. The 4-color flame is in the holy flame space, and it seems that the two are related, so when the 4-color fire lotus pierced the space and attacked the Yin protector, it did not bring any energy along the way. Ripple. This lunatic. If it falls into my hands this time, it's okay to say. If he grows up, I am afraid that sooner or later it will destroy our Soul Clan plan, not to mention that he is still a member of the Xiao clan. Must be killed, the Yin protector said solemnly. Who? The 4-color fire lotus quietly cut through the space and slowly came within a few feet of the Yin protector. The 4-color fire lotus is only the size of a palm, and its volume is not proportional to the 100-zhong black tornado that envelopes the Yin guardian, but the energy contained in it makes the Yin guardian's scalp numb. Asshole. I still underestimate the power of the 3 holy flames. Blood sacrifice. Protect me. The Yin guard was also afraid that he would fall directly into Xiao Yang's blow, and then a silver bag appeared directly, and it was suddenly crushed, was finally captured by the Yin protector, turned into a blood-colored shackle under the refining of the black mist, and under the protection of the black tornado, a blood-colored shackle was formed on his body. Double protection. As long as he can resist the attack of the 4-colored fire lotus, then Xiao Yang will be able to capture it. At that time, the soul of the Fairyland, the soul of the battle, and even the 3 holy flames will all be his Yin protector. Break me. The 4-color fire lotus was extremely fast, and after taking a few breaths, it came to the inside of the black tornado, and then a dangerous arc appeared at the corner of Xiao Yang's mouth, and an extremely indifferent voice filled the entire holy flame space. Boom. Xiao Yang's figure just fell, and the 4-color fire lotus, under the watchful eye of the Yin protector, completely disintegrated in the black tornado. At that time, a fireworks filled with 4 colors suddenly swept out in the black tornado, and a sound that was enough to shatter the soul suddenly radiated out. The 4-color fireworks are like the light of the world, with deafening explosions and all-destroying flames, quickly devouring the black tornado. The black tornado that was so tyrannical just now was also devoured by the 4-color fireworks, and it was losing ground. The Yin protector was affected by the close-range explosion, and couldn't help but let out a heart-piercing roar. It's time to end. Xiao Yang forcibly endured the nearly depleted vindictive energy and soul power, forcibly controlled the 4-color fireworks, and attacked the blood-colored shackles of the Yin protector. Boom. The black tornado didn't last long before it completely fell into the 4-color fireworks, and the next moment, the flame energy of the 4-color fireworks came to the shackles of the Yin protector. Destroy it to me. Xiao Yang couldn't help shouting when he saw that the blood-colored shackle composed of the soul body actually resisted the energy of the 4-color fireworks. Crash. Following Xiao's blood-colored shackles on the body of the Yin protector, it suddenly exploded under the destructive power and high temperature of the four-color firework. Wong buzzing. Little chops. You really surprised me. This time Yuan was injured. I'm afraid it will be difficult to improve in strength in the future, but it's over. Everything about you is mine. Hit by such a terrifying attack, the black smoke outside the body of the Yin protector instantly dissipated, and even the blood-colored shackles formed at the expense of countless soul bodies were instantly destroyed by four-color fireworks, but at the last moment, the Yin protector used all his means to completely dissipate the fireworks of the four, and then turned into a rather illusory soul body, roaring at Xiao Yang. Sure enough, it's still a little short. After Xiao Yang finished speaking, his body was sluggish, and he fell directly from the high altitude of the holy flame to the ground. The fusion of 3.5 color holy flames is only a little short of being able to completely obliterate the perfect Yin protector of the 3 starfighting immortals. If you have 4 holy flames, I am afraid that this Yin protector will fall under the attack just now. Hey, you've done a great job, I'll clean up the mess for you next. Just when Xiao Yang felt the top-heavy feeling about to fall asleep, an extremely gentle force within his body was slowly nourishing Xiao Yang. The body that is close to withering. And with the appearance of this voice, a look of horror emerged from the Yin Guardian's crazy smile. This video will end here.